Yo, what's up, everybody? It's a Wednesday afternoon. I'm speaking and I'm taking you all the way up until 5 p.m. This is Ekse. And here to song. I'm just going to make sure you stick around for the next hour as we give you nothing but the best when it comes to science and technology. Kamlam Stalo J, better known as Uput Fleeky.
The King Lu Upomoy, so preaching Sila, and I'm the guest presenter.
Of course, guys, as Fikanga,
Nikazi,
when you are tuned into channel 260. Do not go anywhere. We'll be from 4 till 5. We have an awesome lineup. And what do we have on the show today?
Let me tell you, we have amazing, incredible people on the show today. Later on the show, we'll be joined by Kolisa Sinyanya, all the way from the Department of Oceanography, UCT. She's to tell us more about the amazing research that she's currently busy with, and also some few words of advice for those who'd like to take this as a career. Remember, South Africa on Saturday, we celebrated World Ocean Day, Cleanup Day actually, and Mtontsi took a pledge to be part of this day and clean up the ocean. So now we're up to clean money, clean the ocean.
Oh yes, and we do have Thomas Mtontsi, who has been an educator in marine science for over 10 years. He's going to be joining us on our Yellow Couches today. We're also joined by See the Bigger Picture, which is a Cape Town-based organization. They have got to do everything that's got to do with coastal environmental health as well as ocean pollution.
Yeah, and later on I'll be joined by Noa Brawermann, who is a 15-year-old ACA member, and trust me, you do not want to miss that one.
Remember, on social media we have called Ekse_live on Twitter. We are still on Twitter, on Facebook, Ekse, on Cape Town TV. #Ekse to what you think about the rest of the show. He's a guest presenter. Do you mind telling everyone how you became a guest presenter on the show?
It's very easy. All I had to do was to email my video where I was showcasing my presenting skills to Lama.
Yeah, and then easy as that.
So it's Lama at
gmail.com. I am lama@gmail.com. But right now it's time for some side tech news with Melikaya.
Ndibambe ngazo zozibini kwigqiza lethu elichubekileyo labasasazi. Ndinamkele kwidesika yendaba ezingenzululwazi nobuchwephesha. Inqaku lokuqala, inzululwazi ezisakhasayo zasetyhini zakweli zasakuthatha inxaxheba kwezenzululwazi zomhlaba jikelele. Amantombazana amabini akweli athe agqwesa kwezenzululwazi azakuthi athathe inxaxheba kukhuphisana kwezenzululwazi ezikwizinga eliphakamileyo kwilizwe laseTurkey, apho abafundi bamazwe ngamazwe beza kube befuna ukuchongwa njengabaphumeleleyo. Uanika Dennis wase-Potchefstroom Guys High School kuMantla Ntshona kunye noClacy Hewitt wase-Pietermaritzburg Girls High School ePietermaritzburg KwaZulu Natal. Esisibini siza kumela uMzantsi Afrika kwi-Egagasini Education Karamedia Science Energy Engineering Fair. Esisibini siza kukhuphisana nabafundi abasuka kumazwe angama-25 ukususela ngomhla we-11 uyokutsho kwe-15 kule imiyo. Bathe batyunjwa ngabagwebi emveni bebonakalise iiprojekthi zenzululwazi ezikumgangatho ophakamileyo kwi-Eskom Expo yabantu abatsha bazinzululwazi ebizwa ukuba yi-International Science Fair kulo nyaka uphelileyo kweyeDwarha. Umphathi Chethi ongamele i-Eskom Expo uthe beyi-Eskom Expo for Young Scientists bayavuya ukuba babona amagqiyazana aseze ngobuso ezweni egqwesa kwezenzululwazi baphinde batyunjwe bayokumela uMzantsi Afrika kumnyhadala omkhulu kangaka. Inqaku lesibini, umphandi weli loMzantsi Afrika uthe wagqama i-United Kingdom kukhuphiswano lwe-Flame Lab. uKenneth Maropa uthe waphumelela indawo yesibini kukhuphiswano belingundaba mlonyeni kwicandelo labaphandi inzululwazi nobuchwephesha. I-Flame Lab lukhuphiswano lwehlabathi jikelele elithi lijonge likhangele liphinde lixhase abantu abathi badlale indima ekufundiseni abantu ngokubaluleka kobuchwephesha bale mihla ezenjiniyeli i-maths kwiindawo zabo zokuhlala. Kwiveki ephelileyo abaphandi abaphuma mbambozone zomhlaba bebehlanganisene kwisixeko iCheltenham e-United Kingdom befuna ukuthweswa isithsaba sokuba ngabona bantu abagqwesileyo ekuveliseni izinto ezililutho ezinceda abantu bokuhlala kumazwe abo. Inqaku lesithathu, umfundi kwidyunivesithi yaseNtshona Koloni i-UWC uKenzo Abrahams wenza okuhle kwicandelo lezenzululwazi nobuchwephesha. uKwenzo nongumhlali waseKells River kweli leNtshona Koloni uyingxenye yabantu abadlale inxaxheba ekwenzeni i-detector ebizwa i-miniball. lo msebenzi ka-Abraham kunye negqiza ebesebenzisana nalo kwi-European Centre for Nuclear Research eSwitzerland uthe waqalaselwa wakhankanya kwi-Nature Communications. U-Abraham uthe bekulindele ukuba igama lakhe lingakhankanywa kumaphephandaba njengoko encedise kule mini-ball ejonge okweBeru. Ukwathe yimpumelelo enkulu le yale mini-ball nabani na onokuyivuyela ukuba igama lakhe libandakanye kwango athe ayivelisa. U-Abraham wayengomnye wabafundi abathathu bedyunivesithi yaseNtshona Koloni ngonyaka ka-2016 abathi bathatha inxaxheba kwi-workshop eyayibanjwe yi-European Centre for Nuclear Research eSwitzerland. Bebekhokhelwa yinjingalwazi uNico Os wesebe lezenzululwazi ne-astronomy kule dyunivesithi. Inqaku lesine nelilogqibela namhlanje kubekelwe bucala izicwangciso zokuphuhlisa iSouth African National Space Agency Weather Centre neyi-agente ejongene nesimo semozulu kweli loMzantsi Afrika kule minyaka emithathu izayo. Kujongwe ukuba le agente isebenze iiyure ezingama-24 ngemini. Oku kubhengezwe ngusekela mphathi wesebe lezemfundo ephakamileyo uPhil Mjwarha xa ebetyelele eliziko ngomvulo wale veki kumazantsi ephondo iNtshona Koloni kwisithili iHermanus. Ingqonyela yeliziko lakwaSANSA uLee N. McKinnell uthe lungakuhle kwaye kwenze umsebenzi lula xa inokwandiswa iphuhliso lendawo njengeko isiso sodwa isikhululo kwizwekazi iAfrika esisebenzayo kwaye esaziwayo kwihlabathi jikelele. uMjwarha uthe urhulumente weli uzimisele kakhulu ekuncediseni ukugqwesa kwezenzululwazi kweli loMzantsi Afrika, nto leyo ethe yabenza ukuba bazibandakanye nale agente bengurhulumente. Ingcali yakwaSANSA uMpho Chisaphungo uthe eliziko lisebenzisane nezinye iSpace Weather Solutions ekujongeni ilanga elingunobangela we-space weather. Kukangako ebesinako namhlanje kwidesika ezingendaba zenzululwazi nobuchwephesha kude kube lixesha elizayo kamnandi.
Oh yes, that of course sci-tech news with Ubodmeli Kaya to make sure you catch them next week, same time, same place, right here on Cape Town TV. We talk all things science on Wednesday. Remember, we are of course on Twitter at Ekse_live and Facebook at Ekse on Cape Town TV using the official hashtag Ekse. And right about now, we're joined by Kolisa Sinyanya, all the way from UCT. She's part of the Department of Oceanography. And I want to find out more about what oceanography consists of. For someone who's hearing for the first time, what is oceanography? By the way, welcome to Ekse.
Thank you. Hi.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have women in science, you know, because
Yes,
back in the days,
that's
it's all
true.
about men doing science, all about men doing
That's very
technology.
true. Especially
And
black women.
It's also,
Now it's ladies doing it for themselves.
yeah, definitely. Let's talk about oceanography. You work for this department at UCT. What do you guys really do within the department?
So I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Cape Town Oceanography
Yeah.
Department. And basically oceanography is an interdisciplinary scientific study of the ocean. We look at the chemical things that are happening with the ocean, the physical, the biological, the biogeochemistry, which is what I'm focusing on. So we're trying to understand how the ocean works, what the waves do, what the winds do to the water, how, I don't know if you guys know phytoplankton. So there's something called phytoplankton, which are these microorganisms that you can't see with the naked eye that are helping us live. So
I
they
know about
take
those
up the
things.
carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. You know, there's global warming. So
From the ice, right? Are they from ice?
well, there's phytoplankton under ice as
Yes.
well, but the ice also, there's albedo, which would have to go into deeper, but the ice helps with the taking up of the carbon dioxide. So that's what oceanography is all about, and I look at how the biogeochemical cycles, especially the nitrogen cycle, how it interacts with its microorganisms to take up the carbon and compress it into the deep ocean.
So we need them.
We need them. Without them, we die.
That's
Die.
very true.
Okay, so you grow up, you are from Tata, right?
Yeah.
So when you were growing up in Tata, do you ever thought that you will be where you are today?
I'm known as the Mtata Boffin. And growing up in Mtata, I always used to say to people, I don't want to to be very famous one day.
More than Taja.
Yeah, but not as an actor, a TV
Celebrity,
presenter, but as a scientist.
Okay.
So I sort of spoke it into existence.
Yeah.
But then obviously I had to work towards it.
Okay.
And I've been doing that all these years.
Yeah.
And this kind of started when I was still a little girl.
Okay.
So, no, dadam, my dad was a nerd. And we used to just sit and watch these science programs.
Yeah.
And basically, this is how I ended up where I am.
Science.
Yes.
And I guess the apple doesn't fall away from history, right?
Definitely. Yes.
I actually want to know a bit more of, I guess then it would have been easier when you actually chose, because I mean, choosing science and oceanography in a black family, that isn't, rare. And I mean, I'm sure they're going to be like, "Mntanam, uzabufunda ntoni? Uzabufunda." So how did you finally take your decision to choose this career?
Well, my parents have always wanted me to gravitate towards science. I don't know why, because, hey, my mom is not that educated. My dad was not in the sciences, even though he was a nerd. Okay. But they always wanted me to gravitate towards science. And I guess I was groomed to love it at a very early age.
Well, I mean, you did watch you did watch science programs instead of cartoons.
Well, I watched everything that has to do with science.
Yes.
and I'm sure in cartoons you do find a little bit of science.
And lots of science.
Yeah.
Sometimes you make the science from watching. You're like, okay, so scientifically, this would make sense like this. So my parents were actually thrilled that I chose science. However, the oceanography part, it was kind of by chance. I always say it chose me. I didn't entirely choose it. And in this journey of choosing what I wanted to do, so in my master's, I was working on microbes, but with fynbos. So a fynbos is the type of plant that is endemic. Okay, endemic means it's only found in the Western Cape. So I was working on that, but looking at the microbes as and I was like, actually, I want to work on microbes in the ocean, and I didn't know what ocean microbes were at the time. And I went and looked for opportunities, and I found this opportunity, and I emailed this lady called Dr. Sarah Fawcett, and she emailed me immediately. She's like, I want to work with you.
How far are you with the research right now? What kind of interesting findings have you found within the research?
So
a lot.
I'm now in my third year of study in my PhD, and unfortunately I can't go in depth with or into what we have discovered, but we have discovered something that will change how. Okay, it has already changed how we see the ocean and basically overall how we will see our planet, which is planet Earth, and how the processes happen in terms of carbon dioxide being there, being taken up by these microbes which are known as phytoplankton and compressed into the deep ocean. And which parts of the ocean actually do this, because that's very important.
Let's talk about your science blog, which is Women in Science. Tell us what you really do within. I wish I was doing science so I can be interviewed.
That my blog actually intimidates me. I always tell the women I interview that my blog intimidates me. When I feel kind of down, you'll hear just now. When I'm feeling kind of down, I go and read the stories of these women, and I can say the reason why it intimidates me is because those women are so powerful.
Now it's so powerful.
Well,
how powerful,
A PhD candidate doesn't
hello. Thank you. But my blog basically looks at women, powerful women, who are doing science from all corners of the globe. I don't know if you've looked at the blog, but you will see the diversity.
That you have.
It's women from the US, women from Mthatha, women from all backgrounds.
Kolisa man, before sihambe ne benifuna nje ukubuza unawuthini kumntana omncinci mhlawumbe eyang Kolisa ohleli emthatha
Umthatha.
ofuna ukubona ukwenza into ze-science unawuthini kuye as a word of advice?
Jonga ne, it doesn't matter noba usemthatha okanye noba uphi anywhere in the world. As a young, we'll say Kolisa, as a young Kolisa, I would advise that you go for it. Be fierce. Know that you love it. If you don't love it, then you know.
No,
And negativity should not stop you. In fact, negativity should make you want to do it even more.
Yeah.
And my ultimate motto is winners never quit. And quitters never win.
Hey, all the way
you.
from Mthatha to AUCT, PhD Ndasekaya, doing all great things. Good luck with the blog, and hopefully it's going to grow and become one of the best science blogs we've ever seen in the continent. Thank you so much, Kolisa.
Thank you so much.
Well, that of course was Kolisa, all the way from the University of Cape Town. So glad to say it's all the way from University of Cape Town.
Right?
Yeah. But right now, we're going to take a quick breather. And when we return, there's lots of edutainment right here on Ekse. Stay tuned. And we are back just like Olo. This is Ekse right here on Cape Town TV, taking all the way up until 5 p.m. Remember, we are, of course, on social media at Ekse_live, on Facebook at Ekse on Cape Town TV, hashtag Ekse. Namhlanje we're talking all things World Ocean Cleanup Day. Remember, Mzansi took a pledge to be part of this amazing day, which happened on Saturday, but this should be an everyday thing. Remember to clean the ocean wherever you go, because it is, of course, a huge part of our lives. Right now, on the yellow couches, Usiya and Uluvuyo are joined by the members of the See the Bigger Picture organization, doing great things. And they will tell us more about the work that they do as an organization and what really do they have for us as the world. Guys, take it away.
Oh yes, of course we are tuned. Thank you so much, Sinalo.
Thank you.
Yes, we are on the yellow couches with See the Bigger Picture. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Okay, introducing your guys. So it is Chris. We have Chris Kraus. We have, okay, you'll correct me if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. We have Shamir Muhammad. We have Natasha Mahmoud. And we have Natasha Kraus.
She prefers call it Tosh, yeah.
Tash Kraus, as well as Juneid
Peterson,
Peterson.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
thank you so much for joining us, guys. What is your organization about?
Essentially, we're an ocean-based initiative. We started off as freedivers. We were all freedivers in Cape Town.
Yeah.
And we met freediving. I met Shamir and Juneid beginning of last year. And we started noticing a lot of plastic while we were diving under the ocean. And I essentially met Shamir at the first beach clean we did at Cork Bay. We were all part of a freediving community called Trail Freedivers. And we met there and we had a very good clean at Cork Bay.
Yeah.
And I think we took about 30 bags of trash off that little beach.
30?
Yep, in Cork
30.
Bay.
Can you believe that?
We've cleaned there 4 times now. Every time we're picking up bags and bags and bags of trash out of that little harbour. And then essentially from there we sparked up a conversation between Shamir and myself and Tash and another member who's departed the organization, but the 4 of us started See the Bigger Picture after a phone call I made to Shamir a couple of months later. We felt like we needed to do something more official than just a beach clean. So we started See the Bigger Picture in July.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So for me, I got two questions for you. So the first one is, who can be a part of this organization and which communities do you guys target?
Okay, so anyone can be a part of us.
Okay.
We teach everybody.
Yeah.
And we learn from everybody.
Okay.
I think that is important. Knowledge is so
Yeah.
important, and we embrace it.
Okay.
You know, and everybody that's like-minded, we welcome you to join us.
Yeah.
Together we are stronger.
Okay.
And that's the bottom line.
That
You
is so
know. So we are big on collaborations
Yeah.
with anyone, and we mostly target the schools on the Cape Flats.
Okay.
We started targeting the schools on the Cape Flats,
Yeah.
but we have also we have taken kids from all over the Cape.
Okay.
We taught them snorkeling, we taught them about marine conservation, and we are currently we are working with Rylands Eye,
Yeah, yeah.
Fairmont Eye, and Claremont Eye
Okay.
on our programs.
All right.
Okay, with your programs, actually I want to speak about Defenders of the Blue. Is that a program under you guys? And what exactly is it?
Okay, so Defenders of the Blue is an ocean-based program where your classroom is the beach,
Okay.
basically, yeah. So as Chris said, we are all free divers, and with the help of some other staff members and volunteers, we teach the kids how to snorkel and how to snorkel safely. We have 3 courses where we teach them about the basic marine conservation and especially teaching them about marine protected areas, you know.
How has the community actually received this program?
They are receiving us very well.
Yeah.
We've been getting messages, emails from everybody, especially on our social media,
Yeah.
wanting to know how they can be a part of it, how they can help, especially, you know. We've gotten great publicity because of it. And the kids, especially, they love it, you know, and they encourage their friends to come and join us. So it's been going amazing. We are
Yeah,
really
that's great,
blessed.
guys. You know, one thing I love about you guys, you know why I love you so much? It's because on World Ocean Cleanup Day, you went to Emonwabisi and you actually worked with the community to clean up the ocean. What kind of trash did you pick up there? Because looking at Camps Bay and Emonwabisi, those are 2 different places. Camps Bay is, I would say, is 10 times cleaner than Emonwabisi. Why did you guys choose this specific beach to clean up on that specific day?
We were asked by Waves for Change, who have their organization on the beach at Monwabisi, to come and help them do a clean. It is not a very popular beach.
Definitely.
People are worried about their safety. You know, it's not very safe, but the amount of trash that we found there was horrifying. We found a lot of small chip packets, countless condoms. We've probably found about 40 used condoms on the grasses. They were horrible. Tons of plastic. We maybe cleared about more than half a ton of plastic off that beach.
Yeah.
We had close to 200 to 300 people on the beach with us that day.
Yeah.
And we had a DJ spinning, so it was a good vibey beach.
Yeah, it sounds like vibe. Natasha, what is the importance of teaching people who go to the beach about the importance of keeping the beach clean? As much as we want to have fun in the beach, take nice pictures, swim, what is the importance of keeping the beach or the ocean, clean?
So for us, you know, it's actually a balancing act.
Yeah.
We need to understand that we rely on the ocean as much as the ocean relies on us. You know, everything that we put in our mouths, that we wash our bodies with, that we clean our homes with, has an environmental impact.
Yeah.
And every time that we are using those products and they're not recyclable, which is a very, very, very small amount of actual what can be recycled, that then has a lifespan afterwards. So when you're not using something that has a circular life cycle, it then ends up in the landfill. When it ends up in the landfill, it also then ends up in the ocean.
Yeah.
When our marine life is then exposed to that, they're either eating it, or it's strangling them, or it's or they're being the whales and dolphins are being beached because they're ingesting it and they're dying of starvation. And that's why a lot of these whales and dolphins are ending up on our beaches, is because they're actually dying of starvation.
Yeah.
So it's a very, you know, every time you touch a piece of plastic or something that isn't recycled, you need to understand that that has to go somewhere, and our landfills are filling up way too fast.
Now, on that topic, Greenpeace Africa is petitioning the government, you know, with regards to plastic use and plastic waste, pollution, and so forth and on. Now, how can us as normal South Africans, you know, meet the government halfway with regards to plastic pollution?
So I'm gonna take this one again. What we need to start doing is pushing back onto the corporate markets. We need to start pushing back and saying, my money is my voice. When I'm buying something, I'm accepting that this will be part of a life cycle, that it has to go somewhere. And when you refuse a straw, a plastic cup, a sweet wrapper, anything that has a non-circular life cycle, when you refuse that item, you're saying to them, I don't want to buy this, I don't agree with this, and it needs to You need to change how you are packaging these items because your money is literally where your mouth is.
Okay, and just before we go, how can people get a hold of you guys to join your guys' programs?
I believe the young men can.
Yes,
Can answer our
Juneid,
question.
yes. Juneid, I beg your pardon.
Juneid.
Yes.
Social media, definitely that's number
Yeah.
one. We are in the millennial age, so
So on Facebook, you guys
Facebook, Instagram, yes, see the bigger picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
As well as on Instagram, our handle is also see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So we'll get us over there.
Any other projects that you have in the pipeline that the community of Cape Town can become involved in?
Yeah, sorry. We have a marina clean this Sunday.
Yeah.
If you are a diver, a certified diver or a free diver, you can come join us at the Royal Cape Yacht Club. Or a swimmer, you can come and help us clean that marina. It's
Yeah.
really dirty, so we
Yeah.
need help. In July, it's our first birthday, so we have a clean in Miller's Point.
It's actually such a pity we weren't able to go into the free diving and scuba diving because I actually wanted to know the difference as well. But we're running out of time. But thank you so much, guys, for joining us on our yellow couches. Right. Ekse went to artificial intelligence in Khayelitsha. We learned everything that's got to do with artificial intelligence, virtual reality, arts, design, and so forth and on. We went to the Woodstock Exchange. Let's see what we did there. Oh yes, we are still here at Woodstock Exchange. We're talking everything that's got to do with artificial intelligence. There are over 60 girls up at Woodstock. They're going to be interviewed by me, but not all of them, of course. We're going to be talking about everything that's going to do with virtual reality, technology, science, art, and there are over 5 schools that are gathered here today to talk about artificial intelligence. And thanks to Khalil Motlate Foundation for this opportunity. Let's quickly go in. We're still here at AFI Khayelitsha with Mustafa. Mustafa, thank you so much for joining us. And just I want to ask you the purpose of this program, and especially why would you guys bring it to Khayelitsha?
So this is a social impact program. Our objective is about mindset change. So often we get this question, why Khayelitsha, why Richards Plain, why Tembisa, why Soweto? And the answer is always the same. Why not? Why have we not done it so long ago? I mean, the main important aspect is that we're demonstrating that we actually ideas can come from anywhere. And why in Khayelitsha? Because actually we can create an ecosystem in Khayelitsha. From that we can generate, create opportunities that are not existing today.
We are with the petrol that runs the engine of the whole project. Maria, thank you so much for joining us on Ekse. So basically, I wanted to know basically the initiative and the purpose behind the initiative of today. Why are we here?
What is important to us is to be inclusive in our country, and something that is really special about South Africa and South Africans is that we inherently design to survive. For us, it's not about aesthetics, it's about surviving every day. And unfortunately, if we are telling kids all the time that you are only good enough if you are doing maths and science, unfortunately, we are leaving the majority of the students out. So we believe that with the design thinking process, it's a process of thought which everybody has and everybody can do. And if we just encourage you on how to maybe structure that thought process and show you that it is an ability that you have on the inside of you, there's no challenge that you cannot solve.
We're still here in AI Khayelitsha with Professor Des Lupsha, and we're about to ask him a couple of questions about design incorporated with artificial intelligence. Thank you so much, Prof, for joining us. Why specifically girls?
Because I think that in a way this is again a celebration of what Africa is about. Yes. You know, we have so many female politicians across the continent, more than anywhere else in the world. We've had, I think I mentioned that in my talk, we've had something like 7 or so female presidents The Western world, you can count them on one hand, probably combined. So it is quite fantastic. And when we think about our culture, the richness of who we are, where we come from, the girls are the future. The girls, and we're one of the only places in the world that seriously celebrates Women's Day, where we acknowledge what contribution women have made to our society. What better way to celebrate than to actually celebrate the girls that are going to be that future?
All right, we're still talking everything that's got to do with artificial intelligence, and we have one of the students up with us.
Kamalam Faith and my surname is Chalova.
Unangapi?
I'm 17 years old and I'm from Joslova High School.
Grade 1.
Grade 11.
Wena ucimba mhlawumbe artificial intelligence inganceda njani i-community yakho?
Yeah, I think like we in my group are actually focused on disabled women.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so most of them get violated. Yeah, but so now okay. You know, sometimes when you're violated, after a few days, they can't even detect if something happened to you. So we're thinking, why can't we design something that can actually show, you know, can scan through your body? And also sometimes design nail polish. If someone touches you, then you can see there's different DNA, then it changes the color. So we're thinking of coming with those kind of designs, yeah, so yeah.
I can Yonke from us here at Ekse, me from UCT. Thank you so much for joining. And we've heard everything that's got to do with artificial intelligence. And I'm sure now Faith has learned so much. So back to you in studio.
To you.
And yes, back to us in studio. That thanks to Gugu Mutlante as well as Helena Mutlante Foundation for organizing all of that. On the yellow couches now, we are joined by Thomas Mtontsi. As we said in the beginning, he's been in education and teaching in marine science for over 10 years. I think let's start there as a point of departure. Yes. When and how did you start your science in marine science?
You want to know when did I start the teaching of marine science?
Yes.
Or
yes. When did you start the teaching of marine science, and how has it been since through to now?
Okay, so I had a great opportunity when I was invited to apply for an opportunity with the Two Oceans Aquarium initially, and I worked with them for a few years before joining the South African Environmental Observations Network that are my employer at the moment. But with my previous employer, which was the Two Oceans Aquarium, I had the opportunity to take kids around their discovery centers. Of course, the aquarium is a world-class facility for marine science, and always, you know, looking at the inhabitants of the oceans in those exhibits and tanks, and being able to support the understanding of kids went a long way in such that I was then asked to run with an outreach unit, which helped me reach to more learners outside, and I really fell in love with that. But now I've been with Sayon for over this is my 11th year. With the aquarium I was there for 2-3 years. So I've done a lot of work with the Sayon.
Actually, can we go into Sayon?
Yes.
South African Observations Network, Egagasini. What exactly is that? And I think you guys do programs as well there?
Okay, so let me give you an understanding of what Sayon is. It's an environmental observations network of South Africa. So it's a research facility of the NRF, the National Research Foundation. And I particularly work with a node or an observations unit called Egagasini, which is just place of waves, which does marine offshore systems. Which begins to say, for anyone who's going to be supporting understanding for marine offshore, it was going to be tough, because we're talking about deep oceans, you know, and the challenge was always going to be there. How do we make sure that our society, the communities, the learners, the students get to understand about marine offshore systems? So it takes sitting down and working out a strategy, a plan, and that for me involved selecting a couple of schools that are near shore, like your fishing communities. Hout Bay is one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ocean View is another. Of course, the Cape Flats where we are is also a very important area to include for your dynamics and so on. And so I looked at a school in Kaelicha, I looked at a school in Samora Philippi area, Sopumelela, and we have Ocean View High, we have Masipumelele, which at the time when we were considering schools had a bit of a disaster. And they also, by the way, near coast. And then there's Hout Bay, which is a fishing community, always in news for many things. So it was important for us to venture into those areas and start supporting science. But it's using marine science context. Here's a trick. We were going to pursue an understanding in sciences and support that. But I use a marine science context. That then helps the kids to fall in love or to get to know a little bit about the marine environment. It's creating awareness, generating interest, and it helps.
And the funny thing, we take advantage of that because these are creatures that are underground, we don't normally see, we take more knowledge in the animals that we see on land. Very interesting, sorry.
So some of us don't even know the animals that live on the ocean.
Exactly.
About marine science, CPs, about marine science. Most people probably don't even know what marine science is doing. Can you break it down for us? What is marine science?
So it's a study of marine environments and the inhabitants of those environments. So it's not just about the animals. It's also, early on you might have had an oceanographer, and I work with many of them. The physical, where the animals stay, the environment, the physical factors. And the interesting thing is when you consider the grade 10 curriculum, life science curriculum, learners are taught to get to understand the animals, and they talk about biotic factors, but there's also the abiotic factors. So one of the things that we did was to consider the curriculum as well.
Okay.
Especially when you are going to work with school kids. Yes.
So my question is, soil marine field is not the kind of field that most of communities are familiar with. So how do you put it down, break it down to most of the communities are more about the marine science?
Okay, so as I said to you, you have your rocky shores that you talked about, the near coast areas, where there are few people have an opportunity to go to, and some go to the beach to play with water and so on. But it's much more than that. And so our style was always going to be, let's use the marine science context to generate the interest and create the awareness. And so whenever we have, to be able to observe changes at sea, you gotta access that with a marine research vessel. So when these marine research vessels are around, we always try and get groups to go and see these ships and look at the instruments and different things that are used. And all this is something that helps us create a little bit of understanding and awareness, and then it creates interest. So to schools in life sciences already, they start learning a few things about the oceans and so on. So we bring these things in.
I'd like to know, man, just quickly, challenges, because ingathi umandi kwa marine. So tifuna man ukwazi challenges any kenners encounter, okanye any encounter in fact, because if I guess the struggle and the fight is not over with regards in doye marine and pollution nakhona.
Okay, mandizijonge ngolhlobo struggles. Okokuqala, when we were setting up the program, it means we were going into a territory. In fact, when you consider schools where people are busy, there's a structure and so on, and so we needed, as I said earlier, to use a technique of not creating something additional. So we look at the curriculum, what is needed. For example, where you can teach food chains using terrestrial animals, you can now bring in marine science context. So our first challenge in that respect was, how do we make this not an additional thing so that ingafumana ukuhoywa?
Yeah.
I think we're running out of time.
Okay.
All right. Well, Thomas, thank you so much. It was an honor having you on the show. And hopefully we're going to give more information to students how they can become part of this amazing educational program that you're currently running. Well, of course, Thomas Mtontsi currently running an educational program when it comes to e-science. But right now we're going to check out what really happens at Science Space, where they learn everything that happens outside in the space in order to determine into such things such as weather forecast and whether you can fly or not be able to fly. Let's take a look at this and see what you can learn from this. We'll be right back with more.
So when the Space Agency approached the ministry a couple of months ago to say that they've been approached to be considered as an accreditation center for part of this space weather network, of course, as a scientific department, we wanted to know what is the value to the South Africans. And they shared with us that in a couple of years, aviation industry, space industry, in particular the aviation industry, will have to have as part of the information they have before they fly, the space weather. We were extremely delighted.
These images of the sun, they are different colors because different wavelengths. So we want you to see different things on the sun. And why we are interested in looking at the sun is because the sun is the main driver for space weather. So it's what is happening on the sun that mainly impact the space weather conditions, and we are looking at that and preparing the space weather bulletin. And then why are we interested in what is happening on the sun? It's because sometimes what happens on the sun can be directed towards the earth, and then what happens is when there's something happening on the sun and it's coming towards the earth, is that it will affect our technological systems.
Everything about the fourth industrial revolution is about our utilization of technology. It's about taking us into the next era, technologically wise. And everything you see here has the ability to completely damage that in one fell swoop. So this is going to be one of the biggest vulnerabilities for the fourth industrial revolution, I believe. And space weather is going to be one of the vulnerabilities that's been identified for the fourth industrial revolution. Now, what do we do about it? Well, one of the first things we do about it is we understand it. We know it. And knowledge is power. So once we know it and we get better at our forecasting and we get better at our modeling, we can then predict what's going to happen and we can protect ourselves.
So what we've decided is that with the kids, mainly the juniors, we started the robotics clubs where they build these robots and also they have to program them as to exactly what they need to do. So, for example, this is just a forklifter that has a basic of a forklifter.
Welcome back, guys. We are joined by Noa Brawermann, a 15-year-old student from Somerset College. She's also involved in ACA. So, yeah, Noa, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So, Noa, the first things first, tell us more about the ACA.
So the African Climate Alliance is a youth-led organization.
Yeah.
Very recent. We used to be part of the Fridays for Future movement, which is an international thing.
Okay.
But we've created our own organization because unlike other countries, we can't really advocate for striking from school.
Yeah.
Because education is sacred in South Africa.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so we decided to make our own version. So we do it on the last day of term. We all go together and we do peaceful protests outside of Parliament to put pressure on our leaders and just create awareness about climate change.
This sounds interesting. Why is it important for kids, for teenagers, for young people to be part of the climate strikes? Why is it important?
It's our future.
Yeah.
I think right now, the way that we're going, we won't have a future if we don't tell our leaders, like, wake up.
Yeah.
There's a big issue, and it's
Yeah.
our responsibility, if nobody else does it, to take
I
action.
think they really need to wake up because they're busy sleeping in Parliament. They need to wake up.
Yeah.
My darling, how old are you?
15.
And what grade are you in?
Grade 10.
How can you then motivate the rest of grade 10s, 11s, and 12s, and even younger? Because I mean, this is so nice seeing young people who are hands-on. How can you motivate, younger kids to be hands-on, like you? Because I mean, before the show, we were saying, oh, you remind me of Greta. Yeah. So how can, we have many Gretas in South Africa?
I think similarly to Greta, the use of social media is insane. I think that's what makes this generation so special.
Yeah.
Even if we don't know each other, we can connect so quickly via Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all of these things. So, I mean, I'm Greta, but there's already so many other South African Gretas. I mean,
Noahs.
and Noahs.
Yeah, so,
I mean, I was I joined the African Climate Alliance because of a girl called Ruby from Weinberg Girls. And she's actually the one who started this whole thing. So she's amazing. And since then, we've got so many people. Over 30 schools are involved.
That's so amazing.
It's great. Yeah, and we're trying to represent the whole of South Africa because we're a very diverse country. So that's also important. Yeah, it's really special.
So I believe that this is not your first protest which is happening on the 14th.
Yes, so on the 15th of March, there was actually Greta herself organized an international day for climate striking. And we took part. At that time, we were the Fridays for Future South Africa. And we had so many people in front of Parliament just asking for change. It was amazing. So now this Friday, very exciting, we've organized another protest for South Africans. And anybody's going, everybody's going.
Have you seen change so far? I say this Friday, you'll be doing another protest outside Parliament to say to our leaders they need to wake up because they're literally sleeping in Parliament. Have you seen change so far?
In the world, definitely.
Our leaders, have they taken you guys seriously?
I think there was a little bit of action after the first protest. If you see, just before our elections, we had a panel for all the different political parties to talk about climate change. But they weren't very aware or as aware as they could be. So I'm hoping that this will encourage them. And we are going, at the end, we're going to the City Hall and we're going to be telling the government, we want a climate emergency. We need to prioritize the environment. So hopefully after this one, they'll be on board.
Noah, now, okay, so besides climate strikes, what does ACA do?
So what we really want to actually introduce is to have schools encourage the education of climate change and how we can adapt to it in the future and sustainability, which will be very exciting. And we're hoping that schools will support us in that. Otherwise, since we just youth, we also organize things informally, such as beach cleanups. We had one the other day, and we join other organizations such as Project 90 in Africa 360, just in other things such as beach cleanups and secondhand, like vintage markets and things like that.
Out of interest sake, how many bags do you guys actually collect from beach cleanups? Because we just heard now before that there were 30 bags that were collected. So maybe on average, how many bags do you guys collect?
Well, I know the recent one I did was actually just with my family, and we went on just along the west coast. There's a beach barely anybody goes to, so it's not a populated beach, but we had like 3 bags just on our own.
3 bags is a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Noah, and when we were talking behind the stage, you also told me that you also making like older people to join. So how do they can join the ACA?
So we have 3 different sections. So we have the youth subdivision, which is for the youth. We have the adult subdivision. So, I mean, my parents are in there, my teachers, all of those people. And they help with the legal part, when you have to be above 18. Because, I mean, we need permission. We don't just want to run in and, just start marching everywhere. So they are very helpful with that. So anybody above 18 can contact the ACA via all social media, and hop along, because we really want everybody to be part of this.
Yeah, this sounds amazing. It's very good to see teenagers doing something for a good cause.
Yeah.
Where does the love for environment come from, and what are you hoping to study after high school?
I've always loved the environment. I think being so close to nature, I mean, Cape Town, I live under the mountain.
Very cold mountain.
Yes, especially in winter.
Yeah.
But so I think just being aware and exposed to the environment just shows how important it is. And I really want to be able to carry on having such a beautiful environment in the future.
Yeah.
As for my studies, I take biology. I took it without actually, I just couldn't imagine my life without it, And I'm so happy I've done it. I'm very interested in humanities and social issues. So I think, and writing, so journalism, social issues, and sustainability. Especially since, my mom, she studies sustainability as well. So it's everywhere for me, which is really useful.
Just out of, what can you advise kids? Because parents would not be comfortable with kids, leaving Fridays and going to Parliament. But now, for the bigger cause, how can you motivate kids, to pitch up on Friday and to be there, for us to be there?
I think for kids, what's really useful is a lot of schools, now that they're being involved in the ACA, they've got an organization that they can say, this is safe, this has been organized, there's no danger. We've got police going there, we've got ambulances in case anything happens. And what's really cool is more and more schools are getting involved, and more schools are providing lifts.
Okay.
And we do have funders such as Africa 360 and Project 90 that help people that can't get there on their own.
Africa 360?
Yeah. I mean, a big thank you to them. They've been so helpful.
Yeah. So if anyone want to contact you guys, where can they find you? Do you have social media platforms?
Social media, we've got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of those things. At African Climate Alliance.
Yeah. What did you do on World Clean Up Ocean Day?
I was with my family, so I'm a weekly boarder, so weekends is very special with my family. And we went for a long hike along the mountain. And we live by the ocean as well, so we went to the ocean and just...
What is the importance of having such days? I know cleaning up the ocean, taking care of the environment should be an everyday thing, but what is the importance of having such a day where we say this day is the day that we should celebrate the ocean, this is the day we should celebrate the environment? Why are those days very important?
I think they're important because it shows that we're making them a priority.
Yes.
Because in day-to-day life right now, it's not a priority. You've got work, you've got children, everything. And it's there, the environment, but it's not really everything you focus on. So having days dedicated to the environment shows that we need to prioritize it and just put all our attention towards saving it.
Okay, Noah, thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you for having me.
I've learned a lot, and I'm so inspired, and I'm sure the rest of us are too.
That is so true.
And at home, let's quickly jump to an ad break. Do not go anywhere. Sizabuya kwa Nok.
Well, there you have it, guys. What an incredible episode of Ekse it was. Wednesdays, talking all things science and technology. Hopefully, you've learned a lot because I feel like a young scientist right now.
Yeah, look, I'm ready to go deregister from humanities and go straight into science. I want to be the scientist.
Well,
I had so much fun. I'm so inspired, and I hope you were too.
What guest presenter? How did you feel today?
Yeah, what an honor and a privilege it has been to be a guest presenter for the day. I feel so honored, and I hope I do this again.
There are so many people currently watching, and they would like to be a guest presenter just like you. What can they do? What action did you take in order to be here?
Okay, it's very easy. All you have to do is to just email Lama. And what is Lama's email again?
Lama at Cape Town TV.
Yeah, that's the email.
Yeah, email Lama at Cape Town TV. Or I am lamamoon@gmail.com. 3 minutes. 3 minutes clip, and you might find yourself here showcasing your presenting skills. If you'd like to be part of the show, bring an organization on the show and be interviewed, all you have to do is send us an email to that email address, and you might find yourself right here on the show. Other than that, we're of course on Facebook at Ekse on Cape Town TV, on Twitter at Ekse_live.
do not forget it is Youth Month as well. So do send us, what do you enjoy about being a youth?
Yeah.
What is it what's nice, about being young? So do tell us.
Being
that.
young and
yes, do tell us over social media. As Noa had said, we are Ekse on Cape Town TV on Facebook.
Well, other than that, we are back tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Cape Town TV. If you've missed the episode, it's playing tomorrow between 7 to 8. Other than that, YouTube is there, man, at CapetownTV.org. Until next time, take care and God bless.
Nangom so